Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. I am so excited. How are you, beautiful people, doing tonight? Let's just make sure everybody is watching. I think they are. Let's just make sure. Yes, 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 yes. Let's start. Let's start. How are you, beautiful people, doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. Some people call me Little Boy. If you're from the 767 Whitey Kubuli Tallis, her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me Luke Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. How are you people doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. Let me make sure I got everything set up here, making sure I got all my people watching and it's live on my page. I can see it. In a minute, I'm going to say hello to everyone. I can see someone is in sunny Florida. You bum. I hate you. Yeah, man. How's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you people doing tonight? Welcome, welcome. What I'm going to try to do just before we start, though, I like to put it on my WhatsApp page as well, so people can take a look. Some people will follow it there, some people don't. But let's try to put it on my WhatsApp page so people can take a look there, and we will be doing just fine. Let's put it on my WhatsApp page. But how are you beautiful people doing? Are you ready for Christmas? You all ready for Christmas? Are you ready for Chrissy Mussy? I hope you are. I hope you are. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. What can you do, right? Life happens, life happens, life happens. So let's make sure we get it on my page on WhatsApp, because you have to do it after the fact. You can't do it before. You know what I mean? So we have to do it. There we go. It's live now. I'm going to say, I am live. And I got to put the boom. And if I don't put the boom, I won't be me. I got to put capital letters BOOM. Boom. So welcome, welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. How are you beautiful people doing, man? It's 2 days before Christmas. You got all your Christmas shopping done? Were you a good boy or a good girl this year? I don't know how good or how bad you guys were, but I'm gonna I don't know. I'm gonna have to check with Santa to see who was good and who was bad. But what I'm gonna do is one more thing I'm gonna do here is make sure it's on my business page. I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, it's live on my business page. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everything's working good tonight. Let me check on Instagram, see if it's on Instagram live. Boom, it's on Instagram. Yes, 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 yes. I'm so excited, so excited. So welcome, welcome. I'm going to do my little intro again and start with my theme song, and then we can continue, right? How are you beautiful people doing tonight? Is everybody doing well? Let me see who's in the chat so I can give a shout out to the people who are in the chat right now. Let's give a quick little shout out in the chat. I want to say good evening to Peach Goodwill. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence and whoever else is watching. I can see some people are starting to come in slowly but surely. But welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me what? Mr. Bardui. If you're from the 767 Whitey Kubuli Torres her body, you call me Mr. Badwill. If you're from Point Michelle, aka La Puente, you don't call me little boy, you call me Luca boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. Good evening, Mr. Alvin Vasa. How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well. One of my clients, I'm actually going to send her, she tell me Merry Christmas. I'm going to send her this, Tuesdays with Terrence. Let's see if she'll watch. I'm going to say, I am live now. I am live now. I will give you a shout out. I will give you a shout out. Come on. Come on. Click on the link. Click on the link. All right. So how's everybody doing? Is everybody doing fine so far? Everybody's doing good. Everybody's doing peachy and all that good stuff. Huh? Everybody's doing well. So just before we start, let's get into our theme song. Let me pull this back here so you can see me. I'm a little casual today. I've been casual lately. I haven't been wearing my Tuesdays with Terrence shirts. I haven't been wearing, I haven't had some guests on for a while. And next year, actually, February 4th will be 6 years that I'm doing Tuesdays with Terrence. And next year, I don't know, maybe Tuesdays with Terrence will go off the air. You know how every sitcom after a while, Good Times, The Jeffersons, Dynasty, Dallas, Friends, Martin, every show goes off, right? So maybe next year I might look into coming to a sunset. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I really enjoy this, man. I've been doing this for 6 years straight. I've never, ever missed a show. And I give the honor and the glory to our Father in heaven, God. So thank you so much for tuning in. So as we start the show, let's look at our theme song and get it all set up so we can start. All right, here we go. Set it up for you. Yeah.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan.
Yeah.
From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way.
Yeah.
A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace, a community of strength and love in every space. From the bayous to the beaches, I found my place. In this journey of finance, I've learned to chase grace. Dominica made me, Boston raised me high. The South sustains my soul as I reach for the sky. With every sunrise, I'm thankful and free. A licensed financial pro, just being me. So here's to the roots that shaped who I am. From Dominica's beauty to Boston's Grand Slam. In the South I stand strong, with purpose and pride. Together with my journey, side by side.
That's right. Together with my journey side by side. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H. Some people call me Havis. Some people call me Terrence. Some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from the 767 Waitikubuli, tall is her body, the Commonwealth of Dominica, you call me little boy. But if you're from Point Michelle, St. Luke's Parish, aka La Pointe, you call me what? Luku boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, the South now sustains me. And that's what the song just said. So, how are you people doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Let's take a quick look at markets, see what markets did today. I think the markets were up. So, let's take a little look. What happened today? Okay, the Dow Jones was up 79.73. The Nasdaq was up 133.01, and the S&P was also up 31.30. So some of you all made some money in your 401ks, a little money. But you know what? My clients never lose, even when it's down. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. So far on it, I don't think there's any futures on the futures for tomorrow so far. Let's see, anything important? The stock futures a little change after S&P post record close. So the S&P closed a record close. So people are excited. I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. I don't want to see a recession. I don't want to see anybody lose a penny. I actually want to see everybody make money. So it's my objective. One of my big plans is having my clients or people that I'm talking to, do in-service rollovers. I've been talking about that for a while. There's someone that I'm working on right now in the DMV, trying to get them to do that. And for those of you who have 401ks, man, and you're over 59 and a half, you need to contact me ASAP. My number is rolling down there. We need to do a rollover for you, an in-service rollover. And if you're no longer at that job, let me protect it for you, okay? And for those of you who want to augment and actually extend and add to your retirement, there's something else I can do for you. You can continue doing what you're doing. Now, I always tell people, don't contribute more than the match. I was just talking to someone about that the other day. Don't contribute more than the match. And then what you can do is that extra money, you can put it in a tax-favored vehicle or tax-favored program. So how's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing well. Good night, Miss June Bardui Ansem Saka Fet, my big sister. How are you? Hope you're doing well. How is everybody doing? You guys are ready for Christmas? I'm not rich like you guys. You guys are rich, so you guys are in the malls and in the supermarkets and in the everywhere shopping, doing your Christmas list. Shopping. Were you a good girl or a good boy this year? Is Santa gonna come down your chimney? I got my gift already. I'm excited. I'm happy. But I hope you guys are doing well. Everybody, how is your week going? Are you still working? Are you on Christmas break? Have you shut it down for the year? 2026 is around the corner. 2026 is around the corner, and if you see the title of my program, if you look at it, you can actually see it right there, because I got that text from one of my business partners. It says, don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. Don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. That is our title tonight. So, has everybody done their Christmas shopping already? Did you put yourself in debt to appease, people? Did you put yourself in debt to appease family? Did you put yourself in debt to appease yourself? It's so funny, sometimes people say to me, hey, I was a good girl this year, I was a good guy this year. And I'm like, well, Santa Claus will come down your chimney, and I always laugh at them, only because not laughing at them, like they're stupid. I'm laughing at them. I'm saying, well, my beard is not gray and long enough to be Santa Claus. It's not, you know what I mean? So if you're a good girl, Santa Claus will come to you. If you're a good boy, make sure you do that. So don't buy once, then beg for your needs. Now, some of you don't have to be really transparent, because some people sometimes don't like to give information like that. Have you ever Have you ever, have you ever buy your wants, then beg for your needs? Have you? I don't mean today. I think all of you watching are kind of responsible now. I mean, you've been doing this with Terrence for over half a decade, so, but have you ever done it though in life? Have you ever done it in life? Have you? Have you guys ever done it in life? Have you ever done it in life? Do you know what my answer is? Huh? Do you know what my answer is? Huh? So let me see the text here. Uh, I'm saying a text here. You know, uh, you know, have you ever done it? Be honest with me. Have you ever done it? 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 Have you ever in your life done it? Hmm? Just tell me. Have you ever done it? Have you?
Often.
Have you ever done it? I know I have. I've done it. I buy my wants and then beg for my needs. I've done it before when I was younger. I think now I'm more responsible, but I've done it. And if you did it before, don't beat yourself. Don't beat yourself. We all have made mistakes. All of us have made mistakes. Every single one of us have made mistakes in our lives. I know I have. I know I have made a lot of mistakes. So, if you have done it in the past, let it go. It's bygones. Let bygones be bygones. Like I saw a video today. This lady was saying, she said, I don't remember if it was an Instagram or TikTok. She said, if you take someone back, you got to forgive them and you got to forget about it. You can't take them back and then bring every time something go wrong, bring back the old stuff. You can't do that. So it's the same thing. You can't bring back what you've done wrong in the past, financially. Learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. Learn from your mistakes and move forward. Can you do that? Can you do that? Is there a reason? Is there a reason why you can't do that? Huh? Is there a reason? Tell me. You can do it. So whatever mistakes we've made in the past, we're not going to do it again. So this year, I have one more shopping day left. My advice to you is don't go into debt. Don't go into debt. Now is the time for you to start saving, actually. Don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. I saw a post this guy made. He said, who is the wise person who make the calendar for Christmas, New Year's, and rent? All in the same Kwanzaa and rent, all in a week's period. That's due. Rent, mortgage, if it's end of the month, it's end of the month, So don't go into debt, to impress people you don't like with things you can't afford, right? With money you don't have to impress the Joneses because you don't know what the Joneses are doing. I remember I've never, ever wanted to be like the Joneses. Like today, I went to run an errand and I saw some kids. And kids, I give them mulligan because they were teenage girls. They all had the same pajamas on in the parking lot of a store. They all had the same pajamas on. Kids do silly things like that. But I've always been, I don't want to say a leader, but I've always been someone who don't follow the crowd. I've never followed the crowd. Man, I have this uncanny confidence about me that I don't need, the crowd to make me feel inadequate, not enough. So if everybody I remember growing up as a kid, I didn't own any Nike sneakers. I never did. It didn't mean that the kids who owned them were good or bad, but I never did. I mean, I remember I had Pro Kids, I had Converse, I had all different kinds. But I remember, soccer, you had Adidas, but I was never a person who was influenced by the masses. I've never been that person because when everybody's doing something, it doesn't make it right. Most of the times when everybody's doing something, it might be, it might be because, yeah, have you ever seen some people? I saw an article today, someone posted on social media. I think it was on Facebook. I don't know who the lady was, but there's a football player. His name is man, what's his name? I'm having a mental block. Bobby, man, I'm having a mental block. I don't think it's Watson, but I'm having Wagner, Bobby Wagner. He plays for the Washington Commanders, right? He used to play for San Francisco 49ers. He used to play for Seattle Seahawks. Now he plays for the Commanders. And I believe Howard University had an executive MBA program, like 18 months online. And this guy, I didn't hear anything about it. He's a football player, professional football player. So obviously he can afford to do it, but he did it in 12 months. And boom, someone posted it. So what I'm saying here is simply this. Those are good things to do. Your personal accomplishments, whether it's you buying a home, you're saving for something, whether you're going to school or you're trying to get a certification for your job. Those positive things, sometimes I always like to see people keep those things kind of in a small circle because everybody is not cheering for you. I made a post today, and I don't know if some of you saw it, right? And let me read the post. Let me see if I have the post right here. It says, the problem isn't your friends not showing up and supporting you. The issue is you keep calling them your friends. So, for example, if people, you say my friend or my this, and they're not supporting you, how are they your friend? How? So your friend should be an accountability partner. Now, I know you have different levels of friendships. People have different levels. Some of them are acquaintances. Some people like to call their colleagues their friends. At my job, my colleagues, we call them our business partners because we are business partners, But everyone at my IMO, at American Classic Agency, they my friend, Some of them, I don't know where they live. I don't know they're this, I don't know that. But there's some people who are business partners as well, who are literally friends. I can say that. I know where they live. I know something about their history. I know some personal stuff about them. And likewise with me. So it's the same thing when you are, if you have friends or family or people that you're close with, it could be a loved one, it could be a lover, I don't know, boo, or whatever you want to call it, best friend or whatever, and they're not your accountability partner and they're not stopping you from doing certain things that might be detrimental to your well-being, whether it's financially, psychologically, physically, professionally, personally, spiritually, and they're not checking you, excuse me, you need to stop calling that person friend. You need to, because a lot of us have a spending. We don't have a money problem. We have a spending problem. Some people say, I don't make enough money a year. That's not true. I mean, everybody wants a raise, and I agree. Like on my job, if I want to raise, all I got to do is work harder. I can get a level increase on my commissions and I can make more, but I have to work harder. And everybody wants a raise. But Just because you start making more money, you don't spend more. Now, certain things you have to spend more, like your mortgage is fixed, you're good. But if your rent may go up, light bill, water bill, phone bill, you may have to reassess all those things, right? So if you're making 75 grand and you got to raise to 80 or 85 or 90, continue living like you living on 75 grand and you keep banking that extra 5, 10, $15,000. And you don't put it in the bank, by the way, you put it what? In an infinite banking concept, right? That's where you put it. And then I literally just saw a video. This young man, a guy, he looks young. He looked like he's in his 40s or 50s. And he said he suffered a heart attack. And, when he suffered the heart attack, he couldn't work. The bills were coming and everything, mortgage, rent, mortgage, car payments, utilities, kids. So, but he had living benefits. He didn't die, but he could access cash. So $400,000 was put into his checking account, help him sustain his mortgage, his bills, his commitments, financial obligations, whatever his children needed. I don't know if it's school or sports or whatever. So you can be living within your means, and life happens. I just told you guys last week. I was talking to one of my clients last night. I went to see him yesterday. Last week, and I talked about that client. They said, I watched. They said I watched Tuesdays with Terrence last week. I went back and watched it, and you were talking about me. Oh, and they felt so good because, like I said, that individual lost their job. And the next day, the following day, they called me to tell me that they lost their job. I love clients who are so transparent. I know everything she has financially, everything. I know the name of her banks. I know how much money she was making, what she's doing. And this woman trusts me explicitly. And she was a referral. Remember I said I thought she was full of crap, right? But actually she wasn't. She wasn't ready when I first met her because she was in the process of going through a divorce and building a home all at the same time. But this woman when I met with her, she was a saver. She don't splurge. She has a beautiful home. She has 2 homes, as a matter of fact. One home pays for itself. I talked about that last week. The rent that the person who's renting her other home is more than the mortgage. So she still has extra money from that rent to pay her some utilities and other things that she want to do. Fortunately for this client, right? Because she's been taking my advice for the last 5 years and didn't buy her once, and she never begged for her needs. I even said to her a couple years ago, I said, you need to buy a new car. That old car you have there, send me that old car, man. You don't need it. I said, I don't even need a car because I work from home. But, she's like, Terrence, I don't need a car. And she's worked hard on all she was at this job for 40 years. She was 39 plus, almost 40 years. And she got laid off last week. But guess what? She was a saver. She listened to my advice on income protection. So God forbid something happens to her. She has living benefits. She took my advice on doing in-service rollovers. We did 2 of them for her, one this year, one about 4 or 5 years ago. She took my advice on debt elimination. She created a debt elimination plan. I think it was 2020. I don't remember if it was 2019 or 2020. I don't remember, or 2021. It was the last 4 years or 4 or 5 years she did it. I can go check it, but it's not important. The point is she did that. But because she followed my instructions, she can fund all these things. And with the severance package that she's going to get, it can take care of her expenses, her living expenses for the whole of 2026. Plus, she's turning 65. She goes on Medicare. She can get a Medicare supplement and a drug plan to protect her. So she's going to be doing well. And she told she's not even sure if she's going to take Social Security at 65. She might not, because she has an income for the year already in her severance. Who does that? Someone who plans. What did I say last week? Proper planning prevents poverty. Proper planning prevents poverty. And this lady, she would have been good because she was saving religiously, not living above her means, not trying to keep up with the Joneses. She didn't buy her wants, then beg for her needs. Her needs were taken care of because of her discipline. You see, a lot of us, our problem is not money. It's with our lack of discipline in spending it. Like today, for example, I had to run an errand and I didn't take my phone. It was dying, so I let it charge. So I didn't have my phone for about 2 hours, I think. And this is the longest I've been without my phone in the last 12 years. 2 hours is the longest I've been without my phone. Now, at night when you're sleeping, I don't count that because you're sleeping. Because sometimes I shut my phone off, sometimes I keep it on. But for 2 hours, I didn't have my phone. And I was thinking about, so where I went, it didn't matter, where I went, because I was thinking about the discipline, right? So what I'm saying to you is, folks, is that when you're disciplined, you'll realize that needs are more important than wants. I mean, I want a Lamborghini, but do I need one? I don't even really need a car, but I have a car, to get to and fro, church or different places and stuff like that. But, but do I need a Porsche? I want a Porsche. Do I need not really. I can plan for it and save for it and get one, but it's not a need. It's just a want. And I'm not telling those of you who've done that you're bad. No, some of you are very disciplined. You planned for it. You had a plan. You saved for it, and you did that. Bravo. Things like that needs to be in your budget, right? It needs to be in your budget. So if it's in your budget, you've done well. If it's in your budget. But if it's not in your budget, what can you do? And there are some people who, like I have clients. I was talking to a client today who has to take what's called a minimum required distribution. Well, the IRS says when you have a 401k, a 403b, a TSP, a 457, remember 401ks is you work for a business, 403b, you work like for a hospital or school, 457, you work for a municipality, and a TSP, thrift savings plan, if you work for the U.S. government. When you retire, the law was when you reach age 70 and a half, you have to take what's called a minimum required distribution. They call it that. Minimum MRD, minimum required distribution. But now it's moved up to 73. Now, there are some people who don't really need the income, but they have to take it. And I hate the fact that there's some people need it, but some people don't need it to live because they're very thrifty and they're very professional. They take care of their responsibilities, some people are debt free and they're never going to be in debt. Meaning if they can't afford it and buy it outright, they're not doing it. Some people, the only debt they ever had was a mortgage. Some people, the only debt they ever had was a mortgage and a car. Some people, the only debt they ever had was a mortgage, a car, and student loans. Some people, the only debt they ever had was a mortgage, a car, student loans, and probably equity line of credit. Some people, the only debt they may have had was a mortgage, student loans, equity line of credit, a car loan, and probably a personal loan. But those people who, you see, interest You could become a slave to interest. Banks don't lend you money for free. That's why I promote infinite banking concepts. And my clients who are younger, when they turn 73 and they have to take their minimum required distribution and they don't need it, I don't want them to put it in a bank. I want them to put it into an infinite banking concept. And that's why when you're young and healthy, you have to get one. Because as you get older, life happens and life challenges happens to us. It happens. It's part of life. So you say to yourself, do I buy my wants then beg for my needs? One of the most embarrassing things you can do is to do that by not planning. Sometimes life happens. I know. Trust me. But when you take control of your mind, your ability to reason, and you have financial literacy, you say you're not going to do that. Same thing with credit. There's times, our credit gets bad because, we got ourselves into situations or life happens. But then when you get back on your feet, clean it up. I know someone's watching right now who've cleaned theirs up. Their credit is excellent. Bravo. Sometimes some of us have challenges, but that's part of life. You see, don't go on social media to like I saw someone the other day made a post. It was the other day, maybe it's earlier this year or last year or whatever, talking about I don't catch feelings, I catch flights. Nothing is wrong with that. You can catch flights. But you can't be asking people to help you catch those flights. You got to save and plan for those flights. Right? You can't be asking people to finance it for you or to, life happens, right? Sometimes there's an emergency or something happens, someone don't have someone you help, but don't be posting, I catch flights, not feelings. Sometimes I want to listen, I'm not telling you to go on social media and lament all your problems. Don't do that because that's what people want to see. So I would never put my problems on social media. I've never done it. I never will. Every time you see me come on there, I mean, I may talk about, I may put some funny stuff in there. I may say some things, but if something's really serious with me mentally, personally, spiritually, psychologically, I'm not going to come out here and pour it on here. For the vultures, I'm one of these people who don't ask everybody to pray for me. I don't want everybody's prayers. I don't know who some of y'all are praying to. Now, I can't prevent you from praying, but I'm not going to ask. I'm very selective who I ask to do that for me. So what I'm saying to you folks is that 2026 is around the corner. Christmas has come, or it's almost here. I know you have kids and spouses and this, but if you don't have, you don't have. Don't go into debt. Excuse me. Don't go into debt to look good to people. Family, friends, colleagues, whoever. Some of them are ungrateful anyways. Don't do that. What I recommend you do, I made a post. Let me go to it. I made a post, right? And this is what the post said. Let me go to the post just so I can say it right, because I have a tendency of misquoting myself or other people sometimes, right? So my quote is not my quote, but I post something on social media. And it says, the best time to start saving That was from one of my one of my uh, partners that I do business with, companies. It says the best time to start saving for retirement was yesterday. Yesterday, but it's never too late. I heard one of my friends said people should start saving in kindergarten. Well, from kindergarten, you should be given the mindset of saving because in kindergarten you don't have an income, right? But it says start in December. Today's December. You know, start in your 40s. As a matter of fact, one of my former clients texted me on TikTok and said they wanted to do something. So yesterday we put something in place for them, to protect them if in case something happens to them, like did like a over $1 million policy to protect themselves, with living benefits and so forth. So they're in their 40s. So it says start in December. They started in December. It says start in your 40s. They said started. They did in their 40s. They start on Friday. The person actually texted me on Friday. And I said let's do it Sunday or Monday. We did it last night. Started 8 p.m. When I was dealing with that individual, it wasn't 8 p.m. It was 12 noon. Start small, but they started small. And I got a text I told the person they were instantly approved, better than applied for. It's kind of like credit. You have good credit, you have regular credit, and poor and bad and, excellent. So it's better than applied for. And the person said to me, and in 3 months, I want to do a plan for my son as well. I'm so proud of them. Life happens, man, but you got to put stuff in place. So don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. Income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation is key. Everybody needs to do it, man. Sometimes, life happens. Someone called me last night, one of my friends, and they mentioned to me that their dad is ill and they want to get some insurance. And I said, well, how ill is your dad? Because I don't know how to tell people. I just read it. It said the best time to start was yesterday, right? The second best time is today. Start in December, start in your 40s, if the person is starting in their 40s, it wouldn't matter. So we don't want anything to happen to them. But the older you get, is the sicker you may become and the more expensive it may be. And sometimes you can't afford it. And sometimes what you can afford is minimal. And sometimes there's no legacy. But I keep trying to educate folks. And again, what I try to do is to teach strategies. I'm not teaching product. I'm teaching strategies. Because even for some of you so a lot of people send me stuff on Facebook to follow their page, and they have small businesses, but they have regular jobs. So why don't you have key man insurance for your regular job? I mean, for your part-time business. And if you have a business partner, why don't you have a buy-sell agreement? And if you can live off your regular salary, that extra income, you should be banking that for the future, for your retirement, that you can access it tax favored, which is tax free if you structure it properly. It can be done. And sometimes people do it. So in 2026, my strategies are going to change a little bit. I want to try to concentrate a little bit more on small businesses. I will always be the licensed financial pro for everyone who needs my help. But I want to concentrate a little more on businesses, small to mid-sized businesses, do presentations for them and show them why they need to do executive bonus plans. Why they need to do executive compensation bonus plans, different things, buy-sell agreements, premium finance programs. Those are big words I'm using and you don't know what they mean. But you know what? Some of you need to start learning about that because some of you have little side businesses. You might be cooking food, doing hair, you're doing this, doing that. Have your a little business over here with an LLC or whatever you have going on, that's awesome. But use the funds that you're getting from it to fund a lot of things. You can even use it to fund your part of your retirement, fund your vacations. Man, if everybody would listen to me and do what I say, the world would be a better place financially. If I would listen to myself, right? Like I said, I was just talking about a client a little while ago. Everything I tell that woman to do, she does. I love that lady. Not because she does what I say to do, she sees the value in what I'm bringing to the table for her. And we had that conversation yesterday at her house. It's not for me. I don't get it. I can't access it. It's all for her. God forbid something happens to her. She has a grandchild and a son. You know, they get everything. This woman is wanting for nothing. And I know some of you personally who make a lot more money than this woman, but you're not in a position as that woman is, because she was disciplined. Her father taught her well. All the siblings. I mean, she was a referral from her sister, who's my client as well. Her younger sister's the same. The same. She's giving me a referral of her other. She has a twin, and I don't know what'll happen there, but we'll see. We'll see. So, folks, don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. Your needs are important. Mortgage is a need. Utilities, a need. Food, groceries, need. Now, you might say a vacation is a need. I agree, but I call it a sub-need, because you can take a vacation and don't go nowhere. You can do a staycation, or you can do you can do a local vacation around here. Go to the park, or go to the beach, or go to skiing. You don't have to go to Dubai or Greece or Europe or France or Israel or Africa. I'm not saying not to do that. Do those things. Plan for it, save for it, and do it. But if you didn't do that, don't put yourself in a predicament so you can post pictures in the airport. I don't catch feelings, I catch flights. Don't be like some of these people who take loans to go on vacation. Budget for it, save it. And I can show you how to do that. If you can actually do that with life insurance. You can save for your vacation with life insurance. You can save for your partying with life insurance. You can save for your car, a plethora of things. Just like Uncle Sam takes his money from your paycheck every pay period, weekly, bi-weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, whenever you get paid. The only people that doesn't happen to is self-employed people. And we, self-employed folks, we have to be more disciplined than you all, because you all have a guaranteed income coming every week, every 2 weeks, every month, every bi-monthly. Us, we get it, but sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low, sometimes it's non-existent, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, and we have to plan differently from you guys. But the concept doesn't change. The concept doesn't change. It doesn't change. And you need to do that. Cherie Dees, how are you? Good evening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terrence. Folks, I don't care where you work, in a hospital, at a school. I don't care if you're a nurse, you're an educator, a construction person, a truck driver, a hairdresser, a barber, a mechanic, a realtor, a pastor, a banker, an IT professional. I don't care if you work from home or in the office, a government worker. I don't care what you do. All the concepts that I talk about, it's for everybody. It's for everybody. And when you start listening to me and doing what I say, You won't buy your wants, then beg for your needs, because your wants and your needs will be taken care of. One of the biggest turnoffs to me is to see someone living frivolously and then, begging for their needs. Uh, Life happens and we help each other. People have helped me too, and I'm grateful. But what I'm saying is, you, if I said this last year in 2024 for 2025, if in 2026 you don't change your circle, if people, your friends or family or your acquaintances or people you hang with are not elevating you to higher levels or different levels, what the hell are you doing with them? Why? If you're always giving and never receiving in terms of advice, projects, opportunities, but you always got to give to this and give to that. Cut them off. Cut them off. Cut them off. In 2026, I want to see you thriving. I have a business partner who asked me, have I put my top 50 up yet? He texted me that today. He wants me to, by January 1st, I have a list of 50 people I'm going to contact. 50, 50. Some of you watching, like if you notice, I never really, solicit the people who watch Tuesdays with Terrence, or and there's somebody watching right now, Tuesdays with Terrence, said to me, how come you never asked me? And it's not because I didn't want to ask them. I just don't want to feel, I don't want people to feel like, I'm harassing them. But the point is, I'm giving you information for free. You should be saying to yourself, I need to talk, because some of you guys had never heard of some of the concepts I spoke about. Never. I've seen people that I know follow people that they don't know who do the same thing that I do. Like one time I saw someone asking questions on a forum or something with someone. The same things I've already said. It doesn't bother me. I don't care where you do it. But I'm just saying to myself, we can't be friends, if I can't help you. I said it last year or earlier this year as well. There is a content creator. I forgot her name. I think her name is Samantha or Sabrina. I don't remember her name. She's in Florida, Hispanic chick. Her content is awesome. She's on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. I can't remember her name. And her content is created. So I don't know if that was real, but I think it was a created content for her, because she makes a lot of money doing content. She has hundreds of thousands, probably 1 million followers. But anyway, she said she has a friend, I think it was a content, who bought a house, and she's a realtor, bought a house, didn't contact her to, be the realtor for her housing escapades or housing shenanigans. She bought a house. She got approved for the loan. She bought a house, and then she's calling the girl to help her move. So the girl says, help you move? Where did you move to? She said, oh, I didn't tell you, I bought a house. The girl said, you did? You bought a house, and I'm a realtor, and you didn't even contact me, and they're friends now. They're girls. And she goes, well, I just, you know how it goes. But can you help me move? She wanted to help her move her bedroom and her couches and her stuff. Her girlfriend, she says, well, the girlfriend says, well, she's like, click, you can't do that, folks. Again, I want to make it clear. Some of you may have financial advisors or financial professionals in your life. Some of you, there was someone that I know personally, I've known since 1986. And this individual, I shared they watch Tuesdays with Terrence, and the person is divorced. And I know both the guy and the girl, both of them are my friends. But in part of the divorce settlement, they had to use the advisor that the person Yeah, ex-husband, who's a big-time doctor in New York, Harvard educated and everything. But the person, I told the person, well, you have an advisor. They're not teaching you the things I'm teaching you. You need to fire them and let me help you. They're like, well, I can't. And I understood that because there's nothing they could have done. What I'm saying here, folks, there is no pressure. I will continue doing this until the sunset happens. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing Tuesdays with Terrence. I've been doing it February 4th will be 6 years, every Tuesday for 6 years. I've given you guys everything. Maybe I might just be a content creator and create scenarios and situations, and every now and then pop up. You know how the people have the pop-up shop? Do a pop-up. Because I've had a plethora of guests on my show. I've had a medical doctor, I've had a psychologist, I've had attorneys, I've had people who had critical illnesses. I've had a professional basketball player who played in the NBA, played in Europe and other places. I've had, I'm trying to think, entrepreneurs. I've had executives at companies. I've had a plethora of people on the show over the years, and now, I'm proud that I've educated folks. I'm proud that some people took my content and went somewhere and did what they had to do. I'm proud of them because at least I know, God forbid something happened, there will be no GoFundMe in my inbox. If you want to tick me off, put a GoFundMe in my inbox. It won't tick me off. It'll actually piss me off. But life happens. So I want to teach people, I want to continue teaching people to protect themselves, protect their families. And even if you have some health challenges, there's additional things we can do. But you got to be disciplined, man. You can't just start and then in a month quit. It's like January 1st, a whole bunch of you are going to be going to Gold's Gym and what's the other one over there? I forgot the name of it. That gym where everybody goes with the purple in there. Everybody goes there. And before February 1st, you quit going. You know what? I didn't want you to start in January. I want you to start now. The year's not done yet. Some of you need to contact me so we can put something in place for you. Let me show you some concepts that you can use. You have children? Let me protect them. Give your children an early start. Like some of us did not have, our parents did not give us that start because they didn't know. All I can say is this, folks, as we close.
Medium. Connected to virus alert spammer.
All I can say as we close is this. Don't let too late be your cry. My mother used to say that all the time. And when I was a kid, I was like, what's she talking about? But she was right. So don't buy your wants, then beg for your needs. Let's start protecting you and your family, with income protection, debt elimination, and legacy creation. Trust me. Be like my client, like I just talked about. I'm so proud of this woman. Like I said, she's done everything I've told her to do. And she's even giving me referrals of her son. He hasn't contacted me. I'm going to teach her. As a matter of fact, now that she's retired, I'm surprised I didn't tell her about that. I met her grandson yesterday. I'm going to tell her, you need to start putting something aside for your grandson. I'm going to tell her that. I bet you she does it. I'm going to make a bet with you guys. Let's make a bet. I'm going to tell her in January, let's put something in place for your grandson. I don't care if it's $50 a month. I bet you she does it. I bet you. I'm going to say, start taking money from that rent that you're getting and put it aside for your son. I'm not saying don't buy him a PlayStation or sneakers every now and then, but give him a financial start so that when he gets to be your age, he'll be way better financial situation than you are. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. My name is H. Terrence Bardui. Some people call me H, some people call me Havis, some people call me Terrence, some people call me Mr. Bardui. If you're from Dominica, you call me Mr. Badwill. If you're from Point Michelle, aka La Pointe, you call me Luku Boy. Dominica made me, Boston raised me, now the South sustains me. The show is called Tuesdays with Terrence. I wrote this song, The Roots of My Rise, that basically tells about my story. If you want to know more, you want me to help your family, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. All I want to say to each of all of you is not Feliz Navidad, but Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas. God bless you all. Like and share if you like what you heard tonight. Yeah.
Dominica made me, that's where it all began. Island breeze, coconut trees, the heart of my plan. From the hills and the smiles to the songs of the sea, that island spirit molded the person I'd be. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. On those snowy streets, learn to stand tall, navigating life, every rise, every fall. From the commons to the brownstones, I made my claim. With every lesson learned, I embraced my name. Boston raised me with its hustle and grind. City lights shining, dreams intertwined. In the heart of this town, I found my way. A licensed financial pro, ready for the fray. Now the South.
Oh, it died. Someone's calling me. Can you believe that? Can you believe that, man? Someone interrupt my music. Can you believe that? Someone interrupt my music while I'm on my show. And that's the part that I hate. What can you do? What does it say? Now the South sustains me with its warm embrace. I could sing it for you guys, but I can't sing. All I can tell you is that thank you for tuning in tonight. God bless you. A call came in, so it interrupted my playing, but I want to thank you. I want to make sure that you have a Merry Christmas. Whatever you do, enjoy the holidays, be safe. I don't care what you celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, happy holidays. If you don't celebrate, whatever. But all I know is enjoy your quality time. If you're from the Caribbean, drink some sorrel, and just enjoy your family and make it a Merry Christmas. I'll be back next week, which will be our final show for the year. And then we'll be moving into 2026. I hope you're ready because I am. So make it a good night. God bless you. And good night. Hasta la vista, babies. I'm gone.